About 6 years ago, I said I need to get out of my own box and redefine what a horror circus means to me. Within 2 months, we had a show called Phantasmagoria, replete with the puppets and the costuming and the projections and everything we were doing.
I think what really sets it apart from other theater I've been to is that it's really kind of a multi-sensory experience. It's not strictly theater.
I've been entranced since day one. Automatically, I was drawn in to their performance.
After that first line, you're hooked. It's hard to stop watching, take your eyes off of something, because they always have their characters doing something.
Lots of people who come aboard, they enjoy the show, they get pulled into the world of the show, and they have great talents that we can use. Whether they're great dancers or great stage combat people or great circus artists.
I was initially just an audience member. There's just something about the weird Victorian storytelling world, the little sandbox that we get to play in, that I can't stop.
The fastening is removed, and one half of the window is so wide upon it.
It's Victoria, darling. It's just simply divine, and to have this gothic darkness to it, even better.
Vampire. When we first designed these costumes, we had never even heard the word steampunk. We were designing Victorian costumes with a twist. And then everybody started saying to us, "Oh, you're steampunk." And we went, "Yes, we are."
It's kind of fun to see little steampunk family that we kind of have. Their costumes are sometimes even nicer than ours, so.
Very eccentric individuals. I happen to be an eccentric individual myself, so we seem to mesh pretty well.
I saw their performance at Gods and Monsters, the comic book shop. I think all the cosplayers there initially thought, who are these people? Because they don't know the characters that they play in this show. So they were a little skeptical, but once they saw that performance, I think they had them hooked.
If you look at what Phantasmagoria features, it's folklore and it's literature of fantasy and horror, and we're just kind of a continuation of that tradition of dreamers, I think.
We've got so many different layers and so many different parts and pieces that create us as a whole. I really think you'd be hard-pressed to find somebody that we can't relate to, and that's what we strive for.
These are people who are really special to us, and they treat us wonderfully and support us. Let's do the same with them. And that's what I think a lot of people can learn about quote-unquote fandom, or the people that follow you, is they have a stake in this too.
We're trying to barbecue the audience.
People started saying to us, you know, you guys are like a graphic novel come to life. You're like a living comic book. And we started going, okay, let's use that.
Just after sunset, probably. After sunset. So the days.
Within the world of the comic book story, we can take a pause from it being a theatrical presentation of a literary work, and we can really take the time to dive into the relationships between these characters.
3, 2, 1.
We're in the midst of pre-production on the very first issue, which we call Issue 0, and it's kind of an introduction to the troupe. At this point, it's really wonderful to watch how the storyboards have built off of the story, and then we've gone into the studio and built visual storyboards with photography.
What other sorts of shenanigans and adventures have they been getting into when they're not presenting a show for an audience? What goes on between the shows?
Barry Kirsch, who is our photographer, who walked in the door one day and just said, I really like what you guys want to do, and what I like about it is the way you've built a family, and you're living that family. It truly has done that weird artistic switch where the actors playing the troupe have become the troupe. We are Phantasmagoria, and that's kind of beautiful. We love it.
Watch full episodes of Artisodes every Thursday at 8 p.m. on WUCF TV.